Welcome to Grade 8 Science Tele class. Myself Prince James and I am working as a chemistry teacher in Muller School. So today we are going to learn the topic a modern periodic table. So first we can check the learning outcome. What is our learning outcome? Our learning outcome is explore the periodic table and identifies trends across periods and groups. And what is the indicator? Our indicator is describes the periodic table as an arrangement of elements in the increasing order of proton or atomic number, then identifies groups, periods and describes their representation, identifies metallic to non-metallic character across the periodic table. Then what's the success criteria? Our success criteria is I will be successful if I describes the periodic table as an arrangement of elements in the order of proton or atomic number, then identifies groups, periods and describes their representation, then identifies metallic to non-metallic character across the periodic table. Then check learning intention. What's the learning intention? Our learning intention is we will be able to describes periodic table as an arrangement of elements in the order of proton or atomic number, then identifies groups, periods and describes their representation, then identifies metallic to non-metallic character across the periodic table. So we can start our topic. Topic is modern periodic table. So who introduces this modern periodic table? An English scientist namely Henry Moseley, and he arranged the non-elements in the increasing order of a number, that's the increasing order of atomic number in tabular columns, that means in tables, and is known as a modern periodic table. What is modern periodic table? So in modern periodic table the elements are arranged in which criteria? Okay, so in modern periodic table elements are arranged in the increasing order of which number? In the increasing order of atomic number. Then who arranged the elements in the modern periodic table? So an English scientist namely Henry Moseley arranged the elements in a tabular column and in the increasing order of atomic number. Okay, then what is the modern periodic law? There is a law, that is modern periodic law. Then modern periodic law states that the physical and chemical properties of elements have both physical and chemical properties. So the physical and chemical properties of elements are in the periodic function of what? In the periodic function of their atomic number. That is the modern periodic law. Okay, so check this modern periodic table. In the modern periodic table you can see horizontal rows. These are the horizontal rows. Hydrogen and helium comes in first row, then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. These elements come in second row. Like that we can check how many rows are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 rows. In the modern periodic table there are 7 rows, and how many columns are there? Okay, how many columns are there? We can check 1, 2, 3, like that. There are total 18 columns are there. So how many columns are there in the periodic table? In the modern periodic table there are 18 columns. Okay, then there is a name for this column. What's the name of this column? This vertical columns. Vertical columns in the periodic table are known as groups, and horizontal rows in the periodic table are known as periods. One more time. So the vertical columns in the periodic table are known as groups, and horizontal rows in the periodic table are known as periods. So how many periods are there in the periodic table? In the modern periodic table, there are 7 periods, and how many groups are there? There are 18 groups. Okay, we can check the elements in each group. So this is the group number 1. Group number 1 elements are hydrogen, its symbol is H, then lithium, Li, sodium, Na, potassium, K, rubidium, Rb, cesium, Cs, francium, Fr. These are the group 1 elements. One more time. Hydrogen H, lithium Li, sodium Na, potassium K, rubidium Rb, cesium Cs, francium Fr. There is one more name for group number 1, that is alkali metals. So group number 1 elements are known as alkali metals. All group number 1 elements contains how many electrons in its outermost shell? So all the group number 1 elements contains 1 electron in its outermost shell. Then go to group number 2. Group number 2 elements are beryllium, Be, magnesium Mg, calcium Ca, strontium Sr, barium Ba, radium Ra. One more time. So we can check the group 2 elements. Beryllium Be, magnesium Mg, calcium Ca, strontium Sr, barium Ba, and radium Ra. There is one more name for group 2 elements, that is alkaline earth metals. So group 2 elements are known as alkaline earth metals. Okay, then go to group 3 elements. Boron, B, aluminium Al, gallium Ga, indium In, thallium Tl. Boron B, aluminium Al, gallium Ga, indium In, then thallium Tl. These are group 3 elements, and this is known as boron family. Boron family. Then group 4 elements, that is carbon family. Carbon C, silicon Si, germanium Ge, tin Sn, lead Pb. One more time. Carbon C, silicon Si, germanium Ge, tin Sn, and lead Pb. Then go to group 5 elements. Nitrogen N, phosphorus P, arsenic As, antimony Sb, bismuth Bi. Group 5 elements. So there is one more name, that is nitrogen family. Then group 6 elements or oxygen family. The elements are oxygen O, sulfur S, selenium Se, tellurium Te, polonium Po. Then group 7 elements are fluorine F, chlorine Cl, bromine Br, iodine I, astatine At. Group 7 or halogen family. The elements are fluorine F, chlorine Cl, bromine Br, iodine I, astatine At. These are group 7 elements or halogens. All group 7 elements contains how many electrons in its outermost shell? It contains 7 electrons in its outermost shell. Then go to the last group, group 8 or zero group or noble gas or inert gas. There are different names. We can tell it as group 8 or zero group or noble gas or inert gas. The elements are helium He, neon Ne, argon Ar, krypton Kr, xenon Xe, radon Rn. These are group 8 elements. Okay. Then group number 1 and group number 2 elements together known as S block elements. So what are s block elements? Group number 1 and group number 2 elements both together known as s block elements. Then the next one is p block elements. That means group number 3 to group number 8, that elements are known as p block elements. Group 3 to group 8 elements. Then we can see the elements in between s and p block. You can see the elements like a bridge which connect s block and p block. Okay, these elements are known as d block elements or transition elements. So d block elements or transition elements. So what are d block elements or transition elements? The elements present in between s and p block in the periodic table are known as d block elements or transition elements. Okay, again you can check, you can see there are two rows of elements which are placed separately down in the periodic table. They are known as f block elements. Okay, what are f block elements? F block elements are the two rows of elements which are placed separately in the periodic table. Okay, then in the f block also there are two rows. The first row which starts from La is known as lanthanum and it ends with lutetium. So the elements from lanthanum to lutetium in the periodic table are known as lanthanide series or lanthanides. Then the next row is actinide series. Okay, actinide series means the elements which start from actinium to lawrentium in the periodic table. Okay, the elements from actinium Ac to lawrentium in the periodic table are known as what? Are known as actinide series. Actually these two rows are a part of this periodic table. If you that means this La is having atomic number 57 and Lu is having atomic number 71. Check here in this periodic table, after Ba 56, atomic number 56, then next here it's given hafnium HF, its atomic number is 72. So there are elements in between these two, that means 57 to 71, those elements are represented separately. This is the lanthanide series. Again check the next row, that is Ra. Ra means atomic number 88. Then Rf. Ra is radium and Rf is rutherfordium. Its atomic number that is 104. That means the elements having atomic number 81 to 103 is placed separately. That means actinium to lawrentium. For the convenience of the periodic table, we place these elements separately. The elements in the left side of the periodic table are metals. That means group 1 and group elements are full of metals. Okay, then metals donate electrons in a chemical reaction. So in a chemical reaction, the metals donate electrons and it tries to get the stable noble gas configuration. Why elements takes part in chemical reaction? Elements takes part in chemical reaction for their stability. So if you take group 1 element, all the group 1 elements contains how many electron in its outermost shell? It contains 1 electron in outermost shell. So that means the group 1 elements donate that 1 electron to form stable noble gas configuration. Okay, but hydrogen, that is an exceptional case. Other than that hydrogen, all elements like lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, okay, these elements donate that 1 electron and the outermost shell will be completely filled. Then metals are electropositive. What do you mean by electropositivity? That means metals donate electrons and form a positive charge and is known as electropositive. Okay, metals are solid except mercury. You know mercury, that's a metal which we are using in a thermometer, and it's a liquid metal. Okay, then which are the properties of these metals? Metals are shiny, then they are good conductors of heat and electricity, then they are ductile. What do you mean by ductile or ductility? Ductile means metals can be drawn out to make long wires. For example, aluminum metal. Okay, so aluminum metal we can make to long wires. Okay, that we are using to make electric cables. So that means metals can be drawn out to make long wires. That property of the metal is known as ductility. The next one is malleable. Metals are malleable. What do you mean by malleable? Malleable means metals can be hammered and bent into any shape without breaking. So a metal we can be hammered. By using a hammer we can hammer it and bend into any shape without breaking, and that is known as malleable or malleability. Then sonorous. What do you mean by sonorous? That means metals produce ringing sound when strike on it. That is known as sonorous. Examples of metals are sodium, magnesium, then titanium, scandium, iron, nickel. Those are metals. Okay. That means group 1, group 2, then D block. D block are full of metals. As compared to group 1 and group 2, D block elements are very hard. Then when you go to right side of the periodic table, there is a change from metallic to non-metallic character. When we move from left to right side of the periodic table, the non-metallic character increases. Next we can check the properties of non-metals. Non-metals are properties just opposite to that of metals. Okay, non-metals gain electrons to make stable noble gas configuration. What we told in the case of metals, metals donate electron to form the electronic configuration of the stable noble gas. But what about non-metals? Non-metals gain electrons stable noble gas configuration. Then that means non-metals are electronegative. They gain negative charge, right? Yes. Then non-metals are brittle. That means it break easily. Then non-malleable and non-ductile, and it is not sonorous. Okay. Then poor conductors of both heat and electricity. These are the properties of non-metals. You can give some examples of non-metals like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Okay, all these non-metals contains less than 8 electron in its outermost shell. Okay, then there are some elements which have properties in between metals and non-metals. They are known as metalloids. Okay, for example, silicon. You take silicon, then germanium, silicon Si, germanium Ge. There you can see the elements like staircase, okay, germanium, silicon, etc. These elements are known as metalloids. Okay, then check last group 8 elements. All these group 8 elements have completely filled outermost shell. That means group 8 elements doesn't take part in chemical reaction. Its outermost shell is completely filled. That means there is no vacancy to accommodate a new electron. That's why noble gases doesn't participate in chemical reaction. We take helium. It contains only 2 electrons in the outermost shell, helium. Other than helium, all the noble gases contains 8 electrons in its outermost shell. Helium is considered as a noble gas because it having only one shell, that K shell is completely filled. And we can check the position of elements in the periodic table. Okay, what's the position of elements in the periodic table? Period number is equal to the number of shells. It's an important point. The period number, that is equal to the number of shells, and group number is equal to number of electrons in the outermost shell. Okay, we can take one example. Okay, period 3 elements. Sodium contains 11 electrons. That means we can arrange it as 281. Sodium contains how many shells? Sodium contains 3 shells. That means its period number 3. 1, 2, 3. Sodium comes in period 3 because it contains how many shells? It contains 3 shells. One more time, atomic number of sodium is 11. We can write the electronic configuration as 281. 2 in the first shell, 8 in the second shell, and 1 in the third shell. That means it contains how many shells? It contains 3 shells. That means the period number is equal to the number of shells. Then the next one is that group number. Group number is equal to number of electrons in the outermost shell. Sodium contains how many electrons in its outermost shell? Sodium contains 1 electron in its outermost shell, so sodium is a group 1 element. Like that, you can check another example. Nitrogen. Nitrogen atomic number is 7. We can write the electronic configuration as 2, 5. That means nitrogen contains how many shells? Nitrogen contains 2 shells. That means the nitrogen nitrogen period number is 2. And it contains how many electron in the outermost shell? It contains 5 electron in its outermost shell. That means it comes in group number 5. Take another example as chlorine. Chlorine atomic number is 17. We can arrange the electron as 287. That means it contains 3 shells, right? 2 in the first shell, 8 electron in the second shell, and 7 electron in the third shell. That means it contains how many shells? It contains 1, 2, 3 shells. And the outermost shell of chlorine atom contains how many electrons? It contains 7 electrons. That means it belongs to which group in the periodic table? It belongs to group 7 in the periodic table. So that means we can identify the position of elements in the periodic table. One more time, period number is equal to the number of shells, and group number is equal to number of electrons in the outermost shell. Okay, then elements with the similar properties are arranged in the same group. Okay, and mostly did experiments on different elements, and the elements which have same properties he included in one group. That means this group number 1 elements are same properties. Okay, but hydrogen is some exceptional property. Then take group number 2. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. All these group number 2 elements have same properties. Okay, then elements in the same group have same number of electrons in the outermost shell. Then what about the number of electrons in the outermost shell? Okay, based on the number of electrons in the outermost shell, mostly arrange these elements. Group number 1 contains 1 electron in the outermost shell. You take group number 5, it contains how many electrons? It contains 5 electrons in the outermost shell. If you take group number 7, it contains how many electrons? It contains 7 electrons in its outermost shell. Okay, we can practice some exercise question. The first exercise question is select group 1 element from the following. Options are option A magnesium, option B sodium, option C aluminum. Check this periodic table and select group 1 element. Magnesium, option A, option B sodium, option C aluminum. Select group 1. Do you got the answer? Yes, okay, right? The answer is sodium. Sodium is in group number 1. Okay. Then check second question. State modern periodic law. What is modern periodic law? We learn in today's topic, we learn modern periodic table and modern periodic law. What does modern periodic law states that? Okay, let's recall your knowledge. Okay, modern periodic law states that physical and chemical properties of elements are on the increasing order of what? Increasing order of atomic number. Next question is, what are d block elements or transition elements? What are d block elements in the periodic table or transition elements? What's the answer? The group of elements in between S and P block in the periodic table are known as transition elements. The group of elements in between S and P block elements in the periodic table are known as what? They are known as transition elements or d block elements. Fourth sample question is, what are alkali metals? Give an example. What are alkali metals? Alkali metals mean the group 1 elements in the periodic table are known as what? They are known as alkali metals. Okay, give an example. Potassium. K is an example of group 1 element. Okay, what we learned in today's class? We learned in today's class about the modern periodic table, how the elements are arranged in the modern periodic table, in the order of which criteria the elements are arranged. Okay, then we learned about groups and periods in the periodic table, then how many groups are there, how many periods are there, then the arrangement of elements as metals, non-metals, metalloids, etc. I hope you all understand today's lesson. Thank you.